Welcome, gents. Signs you are a spiritually awakened Sigma male. Life has a way of molding certain individuals differently. Some men walk a unique path, one that's not dictated by society, trends, or even the opinions of others. These are the Sigma males, men who thrive in their solitude, live authentically, and stand firmly rooted in their truth. But when a Sigma male becomes spiritually awakened, he transcends even further. He becomes not just a lone wolf, but a force of wisdom, purpose, and unshakable calm in a chaotic world. If you've ever felt disconnected from the noise of the world, but deeply in tune with something greater, if you've faced life's hardships and emerged with a clearer understanding of yourself, or if you've ever found yourself questioning the superficiality of modern life, this might just be the confirmation you've been seeking. Being a spiritually awakened Sigma male means you've chosen depth over convenience, self-awareness over conformity, and peace over fleeting pleasures. It's not always easy, and the road can feel lonely at times. But remember, the strength to walk this path comes from within, and not everyone is capable of it. That's what makes you rare. In this video, we're diving deep into the unmistakable signs that you've stepped into this extraordinary state of being. By the end, you'll not only understand yourself better, but you'll also walk away with renewed confidence in your journey and the wisdom to keep moving forward. So stick around and watch to the end, because this is more than just a list. This is a mirror reflecting your potential and your purpose. Let's uncover the truth about what makes spiritually awakened Sigma males so powerful. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Number 12. You feel disconnected from the noise, yet deeply connected to the essence. There's a point in life where the noise of the world begins to feel meaningless. You stop chasing the constant distractions, empty conversations, superficial relationships, and the relentless pursuit of material things. It's not that you've given up on life or stopped caring. It's that you've tuned into something deeper, something far more real. You've realized that all the external noise is just a cover, a way to avoid confronting the truth of existence. You find yourself withdrawing from the surface-level interactions that once filled your days. Small talk feels exhausting. The endless scroll through curated lives and hollow achievements leaves you cold. Instead, you gravitate toward what's timeless, authentic connections, meaningful experiences, and the unspoken wisdom that lies beneath the chaos. It's not about rejecting the world, it's about seeing through it. What draws your attention now are the things that truly matter. The fleeting beauty of a moment, the depth of a real conversation, or the quiet power of simply being present. You've started to resonate with the essence of life itself, the part that can't be bought, explained, or fabricated. This shift is profound. It makes you more aware, more connected to what's real, even as you seem to drift further from the distractions that others cling to. It's not always easy, but this disconnection from the noise is what sets you free. It allows you to live with clarity and purpose, aligned with the deeper truths that guide your soul. Number 11. Feeling of oneness with the universe. As your spiritual journey unfolds, you begin to experience a profound sense of oneness with the universe. It's not just an intellectual concept, it's a visceral feeling that pulses through your very being. You feel deeply connected to nature, the stars, the rhythm of life itself. In moments of stillness, you sense the intricate web that binds all things together, understanding that nothing exists in isolation. There's a recognition that every living thing, from the tiniest insect to the vast expanses of the cosmos, is part of a greater whole. This awareness expands your perception of reality. You no longer see yourself as separate or isolated, but as an integral part of something much larger. The boundaries between you and the world blur, and you begin to see the divine in everything, from the rustle of leaves in the wind to the quiet hum of a distant star. Even in the midst of chaos or pain, you can tap into this deeper truth, knowing that everything is interconnected and each experience is part of a greater unfolding. This sense of unity brings a deep sense of peace and purpose. It's no longer about striving for individual success or chasing external validation. Instead, your life becomes an expression of the interconnectedness you feel with the universe. You move through the world with a sense of harmony, knowing that every step you take is part of the grand dance of existence. And in that realization, there's an indescribable peace, a knowing that you are exactly where you are meant to be. Number 10. A shift in priorities. As your spiritual awakening deepens, your perspective on life begins to shift in profound ways. The things that once drove you, material success, social approval, and the constant race for validation, lose their grip. You no longer measure your worth by the standards of the world. Instead, your focus narrows to the things that truly matter: inner peace, personal growth, and authentic connections. Where once you might have chased after promotions, accolades, or external achievements to feel fulfilled, you now find fulfillment in the quieter, more meaningful aspects of life. You crave growth, not in the sense of collecting achievements, but in expanding your understanding of yourself and the world around you. The relentless pursuit of more, whether it's wealth, status, or recognition, has been replaced by a deeper desire to be present, to evolve, and to connect with others on a soul level. This shift in priorities often leaves people around you puzzled. They might not understand why you're no longer interested in the things they think are important. But for you, it's clear. True success isn't about what you accumulate, but about who you become in the process. You find joy in the journey of self-discovery, in creating genuine relationships, and in cultivating a life that aligns with your values. As your external pursuits fade into the background, the peace you find within yourself becomes your truest source of fulfillment. Number 9. Heightened sensitivity. As you awaken spiritually, your sensitivity to the world around you sharpens. You begin to pick up on energies that others often overlook, whether it's the emotional undercurrent in a conversation or the atmosphere of a room. You're no longer just physically present, you're mentally and energetically attuned to what's going on beneath the surface. People's emotions are no longer just words or actions to you, they're felt deeply. You sense the unspoken, the hidden layers of their energy, sometimes even before they fully realize it themselves. This heightened sensitivity can be overwhelming at times, especially in crowded places or emotionally charged situations. You can feel the weight of a room, the tension between people, or the calm in a peaceful setting. You're not just reacting to the world with your 5 senses. You're absorbing it through your energy field, and it can leave you feeling drained or rejuvenated depending on the environment. But this sensitivity isn't a weakness, it's a gift. You now have the ability to navigate life with a deeper awareness of how things affect you and others. You understand that certain people, places, or situations can either elevate your energy or deplete it, and you're more selective about where you invest your time and emotions. This awareness allows you to make choices that align with your highest self and protects you from external influences that don't serve your peace. You've become a conscious participant in your own life, using your heightened sensitivity to guide you. Number 8. You respect all paths without needing to follow them. You've learned that true spiritual freedom comes from embracing diversity without the need to conform. You don't feel threatened by others' beliefs or choices, no matter how different they may be from your own. Instead of judging, you respect their path, understanding that every person's journey is unique and necessary for their own growth. Spirituality, for you, isn't about fitting into a specific mold or having everyone agree with you. It's about finding what resonates with your soul and allowing others the same liberty to do the same. This ability to respect others' beliefs while staying firm in your own is rooted in a deep understanding of personal sovereignty. You recognize that everyone is on their own quest for truth, and their experiences, no matter how different, hold valuable lessons. You don't try to convince others to walk your path because you understand that growth comes from within. Everyone's relationship with the divine is personal, and the journey can look different for each person. What sets you apart is that you don't need everyone to agree with you or follow your way. Your path is yours, and you've learned to honor the paths of others without the urge to change them. This respect allows for genuine connections, free from the pressure of judgment. You don't need validation, nor do you feel threatened by difference. You simply walk your own truth and allow others the space to walk theirs. Thank you for being a valued subscriber, gents. Your ongoing support is greatly appreciated and motivates us to continue creating meaningful content. We truly value your engagement. Number 7. You refuse to engage in spiritual hierarchies. For you, spiritual growth isn't about elevating yourself above others. It's not a competition, and it certainly doesn't make you better than anyone else. You've come to understand that every soul is on its own path, and just because you've reached a certain point doesn't mean others are lesser or behind. You don't buy into the idea of spiritual hierarchies or the egotistical notion that being awakened puts you on a pedestal. Instead, your wisdom keeps you grounded. You've seen firsthand how easy it is to fall into the trap of spiritual superiority, and you've chosen to rise above it. You know that enlightenment is a personal journey, and just because someone is at a different stage doesn't make them any less valuable. You don't judge where others are on their path. Instead, you accept them for where they are, offering compassion rather than condescension. This mindset comes from a deep place of humility. You've learned that true spiritual growth isn't about looking down on others or trying to prove something. It's about being present, offering support, and allowing people to grow at their own pace. You've realized that wisdom is best shared without any sense of superiority. By embracing the idea that everyone's journey is sacred, you create space for others to walk their own path without fear of judgment. In doing so, you become a beacon of peace, guiding others not through dominance or ego, but through love and understanding. Number 6. You're driven by purpose, not ego. Your actions are no longer fueled by the endless chase for external rewards. Fame, fortune, and recognition, the things that once seemed so important, now feel hollow compared to the depth of living with purpose. You've shifted your focus from what you can gain to what you can give, from chasing applause to creating meaning. It's not that you don't value success, you just define it differently now. Your purpose drives you in a way ego never could. It's not about being seen or celebrated, but about knowing that what you do matters, even if no one notices. You've discovered that fulfillment isn't found in the spotlight. It's found in alignment with your higher self, in living authentically and contributing in ways that resonate deeply with your soul. This clarity allows you to move through life with a quiet determination. You don't need to shout your intentions or seek validation from others. Your work, your actions, and the energy you bring to the world speak for themselves. You're no longer chasing fleeting highs or external praise because your sense of purpose sustains you far beyond those momentary satisfactions. This shift is liberating. Without ego steering the wheel, you're free to focus on what truly matters. Your contributions are more genuine, your impact more profound. And in the end, it's not the size of your audience that counts. It's the depth of the legacy you leave behind. Number 5. You have a powerful, quiet presence. There's something undeniable about the energy you bring into a room. It's not loud or commanding in the traditional sense, but it holds weight, steady, calm, and quietly powerful. You've reached a point in your journey where you no longer feel the need to prove yourself to anyone. You don't fill silences with words to be noticed, nor do you broadcast your achievements to gain approval. Your presence speaks for itself. People are drawn to this quiet strength, often without even knowing why. It's in the way you carry yourself, with confidence that doesn't need validation and humility that doesn't seek attention. You've learned that true influence isn't about being the loudest voice in the room. It's about being the one whose energy resonates on a deeper level. This presence doesn't come from arrogance or indifference. It comes from a place of alignment. You've done the inner work, faced your shadows, and embraced your truth. That inner peace radiates outward, creating a ripple effect on those around you. Without saying a word, you inspire others to reflect, to grow, and to consider their own paths. Your impact isn't forced, it's effortless. It's not about controlling others, but about embodying a state of being that naturally commands respect and attention. This is the kind of influence that lasts, not because it demands recognition, but because it's real, grounded, and undeniably authentic. Number 4. You see suffering as a teacher, not a curse. For most, Suffering feels like a punishment, something to be avoided, numbed, or escaped. But for you, it's different. You've come to see pain not as a curse, but as one of life's most honest and unrelenting teachers. You don't run from it or try to cover it up. Instead, you sit with it, face it head on, and ask it the hard questions. What is this trying to teach me? What am I meant to learn? This perspective sets you apart. You've learned that the greatest growth often comes from the deepest struggles. Pain forces you to confront truths you might otherwise ignore, to strip away illusions, and to dig into the core of who you are. It shows you where you're holding on too tightly, where you need to let go, and where you have room to grow. Through suffering, you've gained resilience, clarity, and a deeper understanding of both yourself and the world. You've discovered strength you didn't know you had, and wisdom you couldn't have reached any other way. You understand that suffering, while brutal, is also transformative. It's the fire that refines the soul. This doesn't mean you seek out pain or glorify it. It simply means you refuse to waste it. Where others see only despair, you see an opportunity to evolve. And because of this, you emerge stronger, wiser, and more attuned to the essence of life with each trial you endure. Number 3. You've let go of the desire to fix others. At some point you realize that trying to fix others is like pouring water into a cup with a sealed lid, futile and exhausting. You've stopped carrying the weight of trying to change people who aren't ready, who resist growth, or who cling to their own patterns. It's not because you don't care. In fact, it's the opposite. You've learned that real change comes from within, and no amount of convincing, pushing, or guiding can force someone to see what they're not ready to see. Instead, you've chosen to let go. You now understand that everyone is on their own journey, with their own lessons to learn in their own time. You respect that process, even when it's frustrating to watch someone struggle unnecessarily or sabotage their own growth. You no longer see it as your job to intervene, but that doesn't mean you've stopped influencing others. Your approach has simply shifted. Rather than trying to force change, you focus on embodying the principles you live by. You lead by example, showing what growth, peace, and self-awareness look like through your actions, not your words. Those who are ready to grow will notice, and they'll seek you out when the time is right. This shift isn't just liberating for you, it's empowering for others. It allows you to honor their path while preserving your energy for your own. You've traded control for trust, and in doing so, you've found freedom. Number 2. You're unapologetically authentic even when it's uncomfortable. There's a certain freedom in being real, and you've claimed it unapologetically. For you, pretending to be someone you're not feels like suffocating in a mask you never wanted to wear. The world pushes pretense, polished facades, surface-level smiles, and carefully curated personas, but you've outgrown all of that. You've chosen authenticity, even when it costs you comfort, approval, or connection. It's not always easy. Being true to yourself means standing firm when others don't understand you, or when your choices make people uncomfortable. It means embracing your quirks, your flaws, and even the parts of yourself that society might judge. But for you, the alternative, living a life of pretense, feels far worse. You'd rather walk alone in truth than be surrounded by people who only know a version of you that isn't real. Your authenticity isn't about rebellion or being difficult, it's about integrity. You refuse to compromise who you are just to fit into someone else's mold. And while not everyone will accept it, the right people will. Those who see your honesty as a strength, not a threat, will gravitate toward you. This is what makes you rare. You've stopped seeking validation and started valuing your own voice. You've chosen to live authentically, knowing it's not always the easiest path, but it's the one that aligns with your soul. And in doing so, you inspire others to drop their masks and embrace their truth. Number 1. You embrace your shadow without fear. Most people spend their lives running from their flaws, pretending their darker impulses don't exist, or masking their insecurities with a curated version of themselves. But not you. You've taken a different path, one that most are too afraid to walk. You've faced the parts of yourself that others try to bury. You've stood in front of your own shadow, not with shame, but with the courage to understand it. It's not an easy journey. Confronting your fears, your failures, and even the parts of you that you wish weren't there requires brutal honesty. But you've learned that growth isn't about being perfect, it's about being whole. You don't hide from your darkness because you understand it's as much a part of you as your light. The anger, the fear, the jealousy, the pain, they're not your enemies. They're teachers, pointing you toward the parts of yourself that need healing. By embracing your shadow, you've freed yourself from its grip. It no longer controls you from the shadows because you've brought it into the light. You've made peace with it, integrated it, and in doing so, you've become more complete. This isn't weakness, it's power. A man who knows his darkness and still chooses his light is unstoppable. You've taken ownership of your entire being, and that is where true strength, wisdom, and freedom come from. Few dare to do what you've done, and that's what sets you apart. In wrapping up, if you've resonated with the signs we've explored, there's a strong chance you're walking the rare path of a spiritually awakened Sigma male. This journey isn't for the faint of heart. It requires strength to embrace solitude, courage to face your own darkness, and wisdom to live authentically in a world that often values conformity. But that's what makes you extraordinary. You've chosen to rise above the noise and seek something deeper, something real. Being a Sigma male isn't just about independence or detachment, it's about mastering your inner world. It's about letting go of what doesn't serve you, embracing your true purpose, and living with quiet, unshakable strength. You've learned to lead yourself, and in doing so, you inspire others, not through words or boasts, but simply by being. That's the power of your presence. As you continue on this path, remember that your uniqueness is your strength. You're not here to follow, you're here to carve your own trail. The challenges you faced have only refined you, and your spiritual awakening is proof that you're becoming the highest version of yourself. If this resonates with you, stay tuned for more insights. Watch the video to dive deeper into what makes spiritually awakened Sigma males so rare and powerful. Your journey isn't just inspiring, it's transformative. Keep moving forward, keep growing, and remember, the world needs people like you. Thank you, gents, for tuning in, and God bless.